Yo, you know what's crazy? This is like my first time back on camera, like
For
back
real?
on streaming and stuff. And like, dude, I haven't been able to do anything, dude. Like, I shit you not. I've been like these last 2-3 weeks. I've been like stupid busy, and I've been like all over the place. This is like the first time, I kid you not, that I've been in this room to actually do this, and I'm actually like super hyped. So when you hit me up, I was like, hell yeah, I want to be in an episode. Damn, Brian, what are we gonna talk about? Doesn't matter. Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, no, like pretty much anything, man. Just because we've barely like spoken besides like through text to one another on stream, and a couple times we played like Dead by Daylight,
and like 80% of those times just straight up weep talk.
Yeah, it's straight up weep talk.
Straight up just talking anime and shit.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm not throwing shade at that, because like I'm like any excuse to talk about anime, with the exception of One Piece, because you keep asking me and it's just too overwhelming for me. I'll be like, look.
I ask everyone about it now. Like, don't take it personal. I ask everyone about it. Like, hey, you thinking about watching One Piece or what?
So me, like when it comes down to One Piece, like nothing, like I'm pretty sure it's good. Like my best friend loves it. He's been trying to get me to watch it for like the longest. But part of me always goes like, you said they got how many manga chapters? How many episodes?
Oh yeah, no.
And what makes it worse though is like I'm an obsessive person when it comes down.
That's why I stayed away from it for so long. Wait, but before we keep going,
go ahead.
I need to do the intro. Properly bring you in and everything.
Oh yeah, do your thing.
All right. And chat, while we're doing the podcast, we'll read chat, but we won't really be responding to it. But towards the end, you can ask questions, and we'll do our best to answer however we can. Just be respectful. Don't be too stupid. I mean, because stupid is funny, but too stupid is just too much, right?
Hence the two.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the NotSoAvg podcast. I'm your host, Jose Garcia, aka NotSoAvg Jose, or according to Cipher, no strings attached Jose. I blanked on it for a second.
I was about to say, like, oh yeah, I was like, was that
you
my cue?
Just said it too.
Was that my cue? Like, oh, did I miss it?
and tonight I have my boy Cipher World with me, and we're gonna talk about anything and everything.
Man,
how you doing, man? To start off, how you doing?
Like I was saying earlier, look, I've been busy. Like not to stuff them up, but like I haven't been able to stream, put no content on YouTube. Just been, life happens, and I had to take a step back and stuff. So when you hit me up, like, yo, bro, want to come on a podcast? I'm like, hell yeah. Fuck my responsibilities. I don't like them anyways.
I understand. Yesterday I was supposed to cut the grass, but I was like, hey, I need to make a decent overlay for this shit. Because I fucked up last week. Because last Sunday I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have gold on, and I know I made the overlay, and it was looking pretty good, and then my dumbass forgot to save it. You know why? Because I went and got high.
And then I got high.
So like I ended up going to sleep. And then the next day, right before everything, I was like, oh shit, it didn't save. None of it saved.
You know what's crazy? Something really similar happened to me, minus the marijuana, right? Hear me out. So I was working on this script for this video, right? And I was going in, bro. Like, the jokes are hitting. I'm giggling myself. I'm like, yo, this just got me fuego. Dude, I shit you not. I accidentally fucking kicked the plug off my computer. And that shit, and like, bro, I remember I called my boy Robo, like, damn near in tears, like, bro, like, that's why I hate this shit. I'm quitting being a content creator. I hate it. He goes like, yo, what? Can you recreate it? Like, bro, it's like lightning don't strike twice. And I was like, this is gonna be it, bro. And I was so salty, man. Then I got high because of it.
Then you got. I mean, yeah, no. At that point, you need it. It's like all the work you just put in, and it just boom disappeared.
Just gone like that, man. And it's crazy though, because I tell people all the time, like just the whole process of content creating itself, it's daunting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, if you want to make good content, you gotta you gotta script, or at the very least outline your videos. You gotta record the videos, edit the video. All this just for one 7-minute video, right? Yeah. So when all that shit just go to shit, or shit, even graphic design in your case, you just want to go to take a nap, bro. You just want to get high, just forget about your problems, and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna submit a job application.
No, so last night I was DMing Adam because fucking Adobe was pissing me the fuck off. So the overlay that everyone can see right now, I made in After Effects, right? Okay. And I was trying to export it as a WebM file, so it's like super light, can upload it to Stream Elements and then drop it in as a web source, so it's not heavy on the PC. Yeah. I couldn't dump it over to Media Encoder because After Effects was out of date, and I've been trying to update After Effects for like 2 weeks, and it wouldn't update. It kept telling me, oh, you aren't connecting to the server, but everything else updated. I was like, what the fuck? And I was looking it up. I looked up the error code and everything. The only person who like had a solution in the Adobe community that had a resolution was like, it just started working one day, and like a community manager said that was the resolution. I'm like, no, that's not it.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I have Adobe, and don't get me wrong, when it works, it's fucking amazing,
dude. I know.
But when it does it, look, man, I hate the fact that each one of these apps were designed to work interconnected with each other, which is great, which is on paper. But each one of these apps will tax your computer to its maximum GPU, CPU, and memory level. Like, it will drain whatever resource you have available. And when you're trying to work, like, for example, like I record my audio using Audition. From Audition, like I go, to Premiere, and then if I need to make any adjustment, it's through the like dynamic link bullshit. It works, right? But it takes forever and a day for these two apps to talk to each other. And when I get and After Effects is his own problem child. Oh yeah, what I'm saying? Because there'll be days that After Effects is like, just rendering shit, like everything's coming crisp. There'll be days it takes 3 to 4 business days just to show me whatever I just made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just trying to preview. You're not even trying to export yet.
And the worst part is when you're looking at tutorials online, you see these guys like, you're like, yo, what computer do you have that your shit is just flowing so magically? You know what I mean? Like, anyways, look, I'm not here to give Adobe, fucking promotion and shit. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, no, they already take our money,
Yo, what a smile defect. You know what's worse though? Motherfuckers will hit you with those emails saying, hey, we got a deal. You know what I mean? 50% off. It was like, and I'd be like, hey, how I get that deal? And then, nah, not for you. You're already a member. They're like, oh shit, let me cancel it real quick. Yeah, but you're gonna lose all your cloud saves. I'm like, word. Yeah, some hoes.
Yeah. But if you follow all the way through, then they're like, you know what? Instead of $52.99, how about $32? That's where I'm like, fuck, y'all kept me then, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's like $20 I get to keep at least.
Yeah, I know, right? For your app to maybe work one day. I don't know.
Dude.
But everybody in the Adobe community, like on Reddit, they have the same issues, right? But every time I ask, like, so why don't y'all switch? They be like, bro, because we haven't had so much time invested in just learning the language that is Adobe.
It's such a high learning curve. Like, that's the problem to begin with. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, not even a problem. Like, it's just part of like the art of it, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's so much so though. Like, I learned this dude that I know that do freelance work in Fiverr, right? Yeah. And he says that it's extra hard for foreigners to learn Adobe because the language is so set in stone in English that even if they, for example, if they speak Hindu, they keep it in English just so they don't lose terminology, or when they're learning or applying it or teaching it. It's the only way this is they can teach the information. So they can
watch a tutorial and match everything. Yeah.
And it's like, and it's crazy though, because it has like a bunch of language options, but everybody only uses English.
Yeah.
So either way, but so rude to me. How you doing, man? I'm over here bitching.
I mean, I was bitching last night about this shit to Adam. I was ready to like slam my head against the desk and just give up on life, you know.
Sounds about right, man.
Yeah. But besides that, I'm doing good. Finally glad to be past May, because there was just so much going on for me, like being busy. My sister graduated, so we had like a little thing for her here at my house. We like were raising money for St. Jude as Nerd 901, and we had the like 6-hour stream, then the 12-hour one, and those were fun. But to set it up, Adam had to come over and help me set up my computer in the living room. And because we were doing one on a Saturday and then the next week on Sunday, there was no point in me moving my computer all the way back up, like hooking everything up. And I was like, I'm gonna just leave it down there, try to like play something on the TV. It'll be cool. First day I tried to play something, I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. It's not comfortable.
I hate it here. I'm gonna go back upstairs.
Yeah, I just came back upstairs and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna start. I guess I'm gonna watch Netflix.
It'd be like that though. Like,
yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because one thing that I always kind of like got me about being like an adult is that as a kid I always like was to like, yo, I just want to get a job so I can afford all the games and fucking play all these games that Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do more buying than like my backlog is huge. Now when I come home from work, I legit be so like tired. I'm be like, fuck, I'm just gonna watch Archer again until I fall asleep because I don't feel like doing anything, you know? And it's crazy because I sit here, man, and a lot of people don't understand how taxing and exhausting playing video game is, especially when you're invested in the story.
Oh yeah.
When you're invested in
especially if it's a story game.
Yeah. You have to physically like it's the same way why I have to pick and choose when I start like a new anime series, right? Especially if I know it's gonna be good. Like it took me forever to watch Jujutsu, right? But just because when I started it, I watched it all the way through, but I had to make sure my schedule was clear. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a video game. Like when it comes to a video game, you cannot just do like half an hour and call it a day.
No,
you know
really
what I'm saying?
Can't.
You do half an hour, you kill a boss, you gotta watch a cutscene, then you gotta curious like, oh damn, I gotta do all this. Especially
try to play Kingdom Hearts like that. You get about an hour's worth of cutscene. Like as much as I love Kingdom Hearts.
People roast me because I'm a huge Metal Gear fan, and people are like, yo, you need a whole PhD to understand the storyline that Hideo Kojima laid out for you. I'm like, first of all, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you need to sit your ass down because to understand that story, like I'm gonna tell you, like one of my homies who's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, like absolutely, like he has played all the mobile games, the handheld games, him trying to explain to me what the fuck is going on. I only played 1 and 2. After he explained everything to me, because I'm like, I want to catch up. I don't got time to do everything. Give me the cliff notes. This motherfucker, like he went on a 2-hour rant, and I look at him and I'm like, I'm not buying Kingdom Hearts 3 now, right? He goes like, you should. It's gonna be really good. Like I'm not. Because the entire time that you explained this and you told me it was 2-hour rant and he was only talking about a fucking prequel.
Yep.
And I was like,
I know.
Yeah, I was saying
like it's cool. It's cool that there's so many games that are connected in the series, you know? Like the Kingdom Hearts 3 not being the third game in the series is really confusing to people. Because you think, oh, I can play 1, 2 in like a few days, get the third one, knock it out, be like fully understanding. No, you can't even jump to the second game without being confused.
You know, it's crazy because even the second game, like the first line that confused me was "thank Nominate," right? Like I remember reading, I was like, "Who the hell is Nominate?" I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be a plot device in the game." Never explained it. They created a whole spin-off title just to explain who Nominate, or just that note, "thank Nominate." Yeah. I'm like, are you serious? Like now, here's my problem. Like I'm glad we're actually talking about this because I have a problem with game developers that create mainline storyline games for adjacent devices, like handheld games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like because to me, it's cool to do spin-offs. It's cool to explore other different aspects of any story. But when you tie a mainline game to a device that you have to go out your way. Because let's face it, for a lot of people will buy Game Boy Advances or 3DSs if they already have PlayStation 2s. You know what I'm saying?
As a kid, you have one option if you have the option.
Yeah, no, that's well said. Perfect. So when you get invested in a story and you tell me, even as an adult, like if you have to tell me like, oh, I need to invest on a Switch because a game that came out on Xbox has a sequel that's important to the series, but a different gameplay, but it's only on the Switch. In the second mainline game that ties everything together is gonna come back out for the Xbox. That's already way too many hoops I gotta jump just to. And I hate it when series did that. Like, I'm a huge Metal Gear fan, but Metal Gear did it with the PSP. They had Metal Gear 3, right? Which again, chronologically speaking, is was the last the first game. But then the sequel to that was Portable Ops and Peace Walker. There were 2 PSP games. And unfortunately, the PSP, in my opinion, was a system that was already ahead of its time. So not a lot of people had those games. Eventually, they had to re-release these games on 360 and PlayStation 3s. That's like one of those collector editions type shit. But by then, the damage is done type thing, you know? So
that initial wave that would have like got the most amount of people already passed.
Exactly. So overall, though, when it comes down to games, and you're never gonna run into this issue when it comes down to like an anime series or a TV series, because for the most part they stick to one streaming service, and very few times have I seen like shows that have like, oh, you watch let's say Breaking Bad on Netflix. Well, Better Call Saul is gonna come out on Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Like,
but to understand what's happening in Breaking Bad, you have to watch Better Call Saul. So now you have to get Netflix also. I'm like,
on top of you're never gonna have that issue. With games, I feel like we have had that issue more often than I can count. Like another example I can think of was like the Castlevania Lords of Shadows little series that Konami tried to. By the way, you can skip it, but same thing. They had the first one and the second one coming out for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. But then they had the middle game that came out only for the 3DS. And for you to understand what the hell's going on, you needed to get that game. So it's just a pain in the ass, man. Like, when it comes down to when developers get greedy, that's what it comes down to. It's just greed. You know, that and DLCs, tying true endings to DLCs.
I mean, but that tying true endings, or like how it used to be just absurd DLCs. Because at first, all DLC was absurd. Now it's handled better, but like it's still arguable. Yeah, exactly. It depends on the series, the developer, and all that. Because if it's like microtransaction kind of DLC, it's worthless at the end of the day. Yeah, you don't really get anything.
So I say this, right? DLC, I'm actually very okay with DLC when it comes down to like if it's enhancing to the game I already got. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best example, hell, this game, Dying Light, it came out standalone open world zombie game, but it got so much support post launch, right? That every DLC was worth it. But then you have games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example, which was the last Assassin's Creed that I bought, and I hated it because I told myself I'm never gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody told me, hey, it's great now. And I bought that shit and I was pissed. They had microtransactions to buy experience points. So you can level up.
Yeah. When it's stuff like that, no.
It's ridiculous. Like, again, I can go on and on, like true endings. Like, even when it comes down to fighting games, I'm actually okay with paying money
with extra like characters and all that, right? Yeah.
I mean? But when you try to charge money for fucking skins, like, dude, I don't care if you can make this character look slightly different. Like, I don't care about that, you know? Now, I'll say this, though. Like, because every time I bring this up, people want to bring up Fortnite. Now, why I don't mind, like, the transaction, and I'm not a Fortnite player at all, but when I see people playing it, I'll say, look, at the end of the day, you can play that game in its entirety.
for free.
For free and not
Yeah.
buying anything, However, if you want to customize your character and whatever theme they got going on and whatever dance is popular, whatever the hell you have that option. But if you just want to play the game, you can. When you flip that and it's like, oh, if you want to be good at the game, looking at you, EA, fuck you guys, you need to pay me money so we can make you a better player, like the play to win shit.
Yeah.
I'm not good with that, but I mean, I can go on and on just bitching about shit.
I mean, like, not to just keep bitching about it, but like Pokemon Sword and Shield, it did not feel like a complete game. And then they released how much was the DLC? Like $40?
It was a whole $40.
Yeah, like for a $60 game, the first $60 Pokemon game, like mainline series game.
I'm gonna tell you something controversial that I actually was talking to GCG about this, right? And I was like, here's the problem with Pokemon, right? And shit, Nintendo as a whole, but let's talk about more specifically Game Freak. Game Freak has been giving us the bare minimum since
X and Y?
honestly, no, before that. I'm gonna tell you right now, like Black and White was a step in the right direction, story wise, but I'm gonna say Ruby and Sapphire was the last time they actually tried, because at the end of the day, look, X and Y was cool. You know what I mean? Like we can move diagonally. You know what I'm saying? Like the 3D Pokemon renders, everything was great, right? But then when you went from Pokemon, let's go Pikachu and Eevee, and then you have Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield had no business looking like a 3D.
The way it did, no.
Had no business. Like, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, I'm a huge RPG fan, and I'm gonna say something extremely controversial. I hate the turn-based system. When I say I hate it, let me explain. Back in the day, we're talking about SNES, PlayStation 1. The reason why you had turn-based system is because in order to have a robust story, with character development, character stats, all these things, something needed to take a step back. In this case, it was combat, so they created a turn-based system, right? Anytime a game implements it from now on, it's simply out of tradition or limitation. That's why you see a lot of indie RPGs who still have turn-based system. They have proved to us time and time again that even classic RPGs can have a modern facelift. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, it's an action RPG, but it plays amazing, and it doesn't take away from the classic. You know what I mean? Then you look at games like Monster Hunter. You know what I mean? RPGs, but still have a Pokemon should have made a significant leap forward. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes down to, like, bro, if people could do Skyrim mods with like the Pokemon world, and we're talking about Bethesda, they've been using the same game engine since 2002. That's not even an exaggeration. You know what I'm saying? Game Freak has the capacity to make it happen, and the Switch is powerful enough to render. I mean, it was powerful enough to render games like The Witcher 3. Not as well as the other system, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Game Freak is giving us the bare minimum over and over again. The story hasn't matured at all. I get it. No. Pokemon still cater to kids. However, kids nowadays have proved more often than they can take a more mature content. I'm not saying go full rated M, but maybe a rated T. You know what I mean? 14 and up type thing.
Or you don't even have to do like a higher rating to do a more complex story. Or a story that makes sense to begin with.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why Black and White is regarded so highly by fans is because N was an actual sympathetic antagonist. He didn't want Pokemon to be used as slaves. It made you sympathize. So he was beckoning the god of Pokemon artists and the devil, which is guaranteed. It made perfect sense.
You know, you're talking about what's his name?
Oh yeah, no,
that's Diamond and Pearl. Yeah. I know what you mean though. Yeah, Reshiram and Zekrom.
Yeah. That's what. Exactly. You're right. Thank you for catching me on that one. But we loved End because it made sense. And we're like, damn, why am I stopping? Why am I stopping this dude? So having a more mature more grown up, I guess, plot to Pokemon makes perfect sense. Because remember, the reason why DC, for example, has moved away from doing like the more child friendly superheroes is because their fans have grown up. Like the people that grew up watching the 90s Batman animated series, and now they're doing like a more, you know, adult oriented like animated movies because their fans have grown up with it. Same thing with Pokemon's. You know what I'm saying? Like hell, let's go Eevee and Pikachu for the younger audience if you need to, but for the more complex, the real passionate gamers that play it both competitively and care about the storyline, make the game a little bit more nuanced. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like they don't need, so like Nintendo Game Freak wouldn't have to take exactly like a DC role to where it's more catered to like their older audience now, right? If they took more of the Marvel route, that caters to like everyone, the whole family can enjoy it. Exactly. They would do much better versus just like handhold you all the way through the game and then like, okay, buy the DLC and then we'll give you an area with level 60 Pokemon.
That's ridiculous, man. The fact that it's, I mean, like that's just one of my many gripes with Nintendo as a whole, because me just talk this subject to death, but like Zelda, the most memorable Zelda games are Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess because of their gritty, aesthetic, their ominous feel, the dark undertones and stuff. It's still
you feel the weight of the world, of the world that you're playing in. Yeah.
So when you add more colorful theme, I feel like they took a step back, right? Because at the end of the day, man, like anything and everything that requires the player to invest themselves emotionally, or the viewer in that matter, there has to be some stakes. You have to connect emotionally with the characters, you know what I'm saying? Not just simply nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, and that's true for anything, you know what I'm saying? That's why things are catered in levels, you know what I'm saying? And as you become more of an adult, I guess, and you are mentally prepared to take more mature themes, you get to invest yourself that much deeper into whatever you're watching's plot, you know what I mean? And I think that's why for a lot of people, when it comes down to the shift, and even in anime, you know what I mean? Anime went from your basic, I'm just trying to take over the world type of anime to your villains are
way more nuanced.
Way more nuanced, to the point where they're just antagonists because they are the hero's adversary. But more often than not, I can think about so many of the mainstream anime's villains that I can find at least a few people saying like, yeah, I think he was correct. I think he was in the right path. I think I agree with his philosophical views of that world that they live in, and I think that's
just a little flawed, and that little flaw is what steers them down the wrong path. That's usually the best kind of villain.
Exactly. So overall, though, when it comes down to it, I wish if by any chance anybody in Nintendo's dev team is just so happy to stumble upon this podcast, like listen to the fans. You know what I mean? Like the fans have been screaming and crying about, like, leave Mario as it is. You know what I mean? Mario doesn't need a gritty ass like plot or anything.
No.
You know what I mean? But bring back Metroid. That is perfect for for Nintendo to
and they just keep putting it off.
Dude, they gave us a bitch ass title screen 2016 for Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I think so. And then they restarted with a new studio and
it's not Retro Studios anymore?
Did they change to Retro? I've never really played the Metroid game, so I didn't keep up with who it changed to, but I remember they were so far into development, and I think Nintendo wasn't happy, and then they switched developers, so they started from scratch, and that's why there hasn't been a game yet.
Look, man, I have my E3 is upon us, and I know a lot of people are excited, but E3 just marks another way for me to be disappointed. You know what I mean? Because
it's another year, no new Super Strikers. Oh yeah, that's all I care about, honestly.
I ain't gonna lie. The fact that they gave us that weird ass golf game, instead of a super striker. So I'm like, damn, you guys just don't like the fans, bro. Like,
no, really. Like, soccer's the biggest sport in the world, and okay.
But let's play golf. But it's different now because you run to the ball now. Like, I don't care. Like, I hate cardio.
I'd rather be able to tackle my friend. He gets a power up because I tackled him, and then he uses that like shell on me, and like he can try to score a super strike, but I tackle him right before it, and it's such a good loop.
It is. But I mean, look, every company, and like I'm gonna tell you right now. So one of my favorite games that I'm so glad at least got a cult following was what's called Beyond Good and Evil, right? It's a Ubisoft game. This is before I hated Ubisoft. So Beyond Good and Evil came in like during the tail end of the PlayStation 2, GameCube, I think like what 6th generation of gaming, like right, like as they were making the transition to 360 and PS3, right? So a lot of people got to play it, right? Eventually people got to play it and they fell in love with it, right? They released it for like the Xbox Live or the PlayStation Store, so a lot of people got to play it. And then I remember it's 2021, for like 11 years they've been saying an E3 they show like 3 teaser trailers about we dropping this game, we dropping, bro. It's getting to the point, nothing. And it's crazy though because guess what we getting? I promise you we're gonna get another bitch ass Assassin's Creed. We're gonna get another fucking Far Cry, which I ain't gonna lie, this one I might buy only because Giancarlo Esposito is the main villain in this game, and I love him as an actor. The dude is, he's underappreciated. I'm gonna be honest with you, or underrated. Excuse me. That's the only reason why I might get this. Yeah, I appreciate you. See, you get me.
Yeah, because like I didn't catch it at that moment because I was thinking of like I remember him from before Breaking Bad, which everyone remembers him for Breaking Bad, for playing Gus. I remember him from I don't know if you ever saw the movie is it now I gotta make sure but it stars Omarion, and he plays Omarion's dad when he moves to Puerto Rico and he becomes it's a reggaeton movie.
It's a reggaeton movie. Yeah, I remember seeing that movie. Yeah. You know what?
What's it called?
It did not click. It did not click on me that that he was the dad. Like I remember seeing that movie. Yeah. Like I remember like the Omarion's cheesy ass line. This is how you got down in Puerto Rico. I'm like, why you gotta say like that, bro? Like,
Feel the Noise. That's what it's called. Feel the Noise. That's what it was. Yeah.
He was actually in another movie. That as a matter of fact, Jesse Pinkman was Aaron Paul was in that movie too. As a crackhead that punched him, which is like, that's interesting. I mean, like, it's hilarious, man.
They're like, he plays a decent crackhead.
I was like, this dude in drug abuse, like, we're gonna cast type in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I saw that he was gonna be the main villain, I was like, I might buy this Far Cry.
Yeah.
Just because of that. You know what I mean? Not because I care about the game. I don't care. I don't care about the series. I played Far Cry 3 and that was my first and last one, only because they did one of the dumbest things any game does when they introduce such a great charismatic villain, and halfway through the game they kill that villain to replace him with some generic ass evil dude. Like, it's ridiculous. Like Vaz was like the whole marketing of Far Cry 3, and he was in such a small portion of the game. I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, I remember that in high school. Like, I was like, why are they showing him so much in the trailers after, like, I played it for a while, and I was like, this man barely showing up.
Exactly. So when it comes down to it, man, like Ubisoft, or like not even Ubisoft, like so many games have so many IPs under their belt that they're not taking full advantage of. Like, bro, you remember Prince of Persia? I know they're doing a remastered of the first one.
And it looked like shit when they showed it last year.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna talk shit, but I'm probably gonna still get it strictly for nostalgia. But damn, I thought Capcom set the bar for how remasters and remakes should be looking now. Like, the way they did Resident Evil 2 remakes, And obviously Square Enix, they with how they did Final Fantasy, like you would think these guys would be like
things were looking up.
And then I saw that and I'm like, bro, y'all say remake, but y'all really meant remaster. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like that shit clunky, bad. Ah man. It hurt my soul.
No, I'm sure it did. Like,
but yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I hope if they ever decide to like remake Ocarina of Time, it doesn't look like that, because then it'll just look like a GameCube game.
Yeah. So my problem with not my problem. Excuse me. My thing is, do you ever see this like Majora's Mask trailer?
All the time.
You saw all the time.
Yes. And then they made a Majora's Mask one too.
Yeah, and I remember seeing this trailer, and I remember believing it was real.
Yeah,
and
back in like 2012, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, and then before I knew better to read YouTube descriptions saying, "Oh, this is fan made," bro, that trailer looks so phenomenal, and I'm like, Nintendo, why make this? You know what I mean? Like you said, like the 3DS remakes of both those games were actually pretty good. You know what I mean? They weren't just ports. You know what I mean? But come on, man, with the current gen systems, right? Y'all should be giving me better, I don't know, better remakes, better.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes down to ports, right? Like porting a game is one thing, okay? Especially, port over the game from the Wii U. You know what I mean? I was one of 20 dumbasses that bought the Wii U.
I did too. So, you know, we're on the same boat, you know?
21, let's go.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has so many IPs from even the SNES. Like there was this one RPG that deserves a whole remake called The Illusion of Gaia that came off of the SNES. So good. Like if you ever get a chance to look it up, like the story was phenomenal. Gameplay, it was amazing. This deserves a whole remake in my opinion. Then you have, Chrono Trigger, right? That was another. Still, this day is regarded as the best RPG of all time. Needs a remake, and I don't know what it is. Like they're just not touching these old games.
Chrono Trigger is the one that had Akira Toriyama's designs, right?
Yep.
Like they got blessed with those designs and
with those, bro. And I think he was part of the writing staff too. Joe, I appreciate you can buy it on Steam. If you haven't played it, I highly urge you. Like, dude, the game is phenomenal, especially for what it was at the time. You know what I mean? Came out for the SNES. Yeah. That was like what, a 16-bit game system.
Yeah,
bro, it was so good. And no, not remaking it. And I get it. I mean, Square Enix probably still retains the rights to this game, but even then, like, make this into a thing. Like, and I can go on and on. Like Microsoft, they own Rare. Rare has Perfect Dark, fucking Banjo, Conquer. These are all bangers that you could just don't even just recreate Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, and like with modern day graphics.
Like, Ratchet and Clank, how that looks.
Beautiful. Mind you, I'm not a Ratchet and Clank fan. I'm getting ripped apart.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal. Why don't you give us more of that? You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, this is the shit that fans been saying for years. Like, yo, as soon as Microsoft bought Rare, we thought it was like, oh, it's gonna be all over. We're gonna get they're gonna get fucking 360 level, the time 360 level graphic for Banjo, Conquer, and then, bro, when that game Nuts and Bolts came out, bro, I felt betrayed. I was like, damn, bro, that's how you're gonna do my boy Banjo like that? And I mean, the list goes on, and I feel like I get it. A lot of publishers and developers want to keep it safe when it comes down to making games. So make what sells. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't be making all these Assassin's Creed or Call of Duties if they weren't selling.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, as much as like we want what we want, it's still business, and that's at the end of the day what they care about. And it sucks because like there's definitely ways to do business that'll get you more money if you actually follow like what people want. But they decide with the let's go the safe route.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody will. Very few times they want to take risk. But here's the thing, though: the times company have taken risk, it has been great for those particular companies. Look at Naughty
Mm-hmm.
Dog and the Last of Us series. That was an original IP and extremely successful. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Even after all the controversy that the second game got, super successful. And I feel like companies should be able to take those risks. You know what I'm saying? Like Bandai Namco honestly has slowly moved up the ranks of one of my favorite developers. One, because if there's a weeb game, best believe that Bandai Namco is behind it, right?
Yeah.
And they've been doing amazing. Like I'm at Scarlet Nexus looks dope.
Scarlet Nexus looks dope. I don't like their because I played the demo. I don't like the way they have the characters interact, like talk. It pulls up a picture and it just gives me My Hero One's Justice flashbacks because they did. Dude, did you ever play that game?
No, I wanted to.
So the fighting is okay, but it's a 3D arena fighter. I am tired of anime 3D arena fighters. It's not what I wanted from My Hero.
Tell me how pissed off you are about fucking the Demon Slayer.
I'm actually not. That actually looks good.
It looks like Ninja Storm.
Yeah, and I like Ninja Storm.
Okay, hear me out. Right? I'm not trying to discourage you.
Yeah.
But imagine this. This is how I picture Demon Slayer game going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially from Bandai Namco. I mean, they made Code Vein and stuff like that, right? So you get to create your own Demon Slayer core, right? You pick an affinity, and if it's let's say if it's fire, you're under the Fire Hashira, right? And you go on missions to
assigned by him, yeah,
assigned by him, and it could be his own individual story, right? It's a spin-off of the main title, right?
Yeah,
but it doesn't affect the main story of Demon Slayer. You're just a regular ass Joe who is in the Demon Slayer core. And as you progress through the story, you move up the ranks, whatever, and your character could die like a tragic death at the end because of reasons.
Yeah.
And hell, it can even be a prequel. You know what I'm saying? Like before like where Musan is like, before he was like ghost status demon and all that. Like before that good shit. Like you get to meet the OG 12 Kisuke. Bro, think about how dope that would have been.
You could have been there with like the other guy with the like earrings in the past.
Yeah, in the past, exactly. Think about bro, that would have been so dope. And if people tell me like, oh, that's too much, like, no. Look at the gameplay of Code Vein. In Code Vein, you can have so many different abilities from sand attacks to fire attack, like so many different things you can customize on the fly. And the character customization of that game to this day is unrivaled, right? In my opinion, of course.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have given me a Demon Slayer clone of that instead of Ultimate Ninja Storm, I would have been so much happier.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. But the reason I think Demon Slayer's game looks so much better than My Hero's is, so the first My Hero one had, I think, a roster of like 12 characters between heroes and villains. How many did Ninja Storm 4 have? How many pages did you have to go through? You have to go through like 4 or 5 pages, if not 6.
I'm not disagreeing with you. That is true. And here's a problem when you make anime games where the anime is still in its infancy. Because before the Ninja Storms, right? You still there was a series that predated it. It was instead of Arena Fighter, it was a 2D, but it was basically, I think it was Naruto Ultimate Ninja, something like. Yeah, it was Ultimate Ninja. Then when it came to the 360 and PS3, it became Ultimate Ninja Storm, right?
Oh, okay.
The roster was smaller, right? Because we were still learning about, like, we were still getting to know these characters, and
right.
And Ultimate Ninja Storm, I mean, by that point, the shit was over. But my main issue with that, though, and again, these games were not meant to be played competitively, but if you pick, fucking Sage Naruto or, Renegade Sasuke, they were OP compared to the to the
especially with the Rasen Shuriken that tracks
and stuff especially in their team special that literally Sasuke he will chase you throughout the entire arena. That was an issue. Like if you're gonna give me a game like that, personally speaking, not necessarily has to be the gameplay of Fighter Z, for example.
Yeah.
However, you got to keep everything balanced. You know what I'm saying? Because in Fighter Z, like you can have Jiren and get bodied by a Yamcha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all at that point is skill based. Which I heard a rumor that they're gonna have a My Hero-esque style.
I think it was confirmed. Game. I think it was confirmed. I think so. Which I'm happy about because like you said, like I'm not usually into fighting games to begin with, but when it's something I really like the first Injustice, I played the shit out of it.
That shit was good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. The first, I also enjoy Injustice 2, but
it's much slower gameplay. It's more like Mortal Kombat, and I was like, not my kind.
Yeah, no, the second one was a little bit more. It was a little bit more chaotic, and I enjoyed that, especially it was smoother stage transition. They flowed better, so much better. So yeah, no, I agree with you when it comes down to that. Like, I think for me, so I like fighting games, right? I don't play them nearly as much as I used to when I was younger. Because I used to play fighting games competitively. Like right now, the only one that I'm doing competitively, and not even like that, is Smash Brothers. The thing with fighting games, any game to get into competitively, you need to invest so much time, right? And I like playing all types of game, right? That's why I call myself a variety streamer, right? And the games right now that are, that have, slots on Evo or all the other competitions, and that even in local tournaments are the games, your old faithful. You got your Street Fighter 5, your Tekken 7s, and those fans have been around like for decades. You know what I mean? They say like Street Fighter 5 at this point it's not accessible to casual players anymore because it has evolved to such a point where there's, I mean, like the skill level, literally you have to spend years just getting up to that level. Just to even be average, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you have games like I said, I love my Wii games, especially when they're like in that little 2D, as fighting format. You know what I mean? Like Marvel vs. Capcom, like try to do.
Yeah.
Like I want to get into Blast Blue. That shit looks good. Like I want to get back into Guilty Gear. Like I love those characters' designs are dope. Everything is amazing, but it's intimidating how much time I have to spend.
It's not even spend, it's sink. How much time you have to sink?
Just taking like one, I hate taking L's like most people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So have to take like several hundred L's before you can start like competing. That's one of the reasons I even stopped playing Fighter Z, because I fell off for a little bit. Next thing you know, people over here like counting frames. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's too much. You know,
the only time I enjoy playing those kinds of fighting games is when it's like with friends on the couch.
With friends, yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Because trying to play them online usually sucks ass to begin with.
Yeah. Very few games have a decent enough netcode to where like you have like a real faithful online connectivity, and where it doesn't feel like I talk about Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Is abysmal, right? And there's actually like two mentalities of playing, like playing locally and playing online. Two different mentalities, and I love Smash Brothers. Like it's the only game that I can say I'm above average, right? When it comes down to playing, like far from the best, but you know what I mean. But I can still like I still can compete and place in tournaments. But unfortunately, man, it's like you said, the time sink that you have to sink in these things is, and I don't know about you, you know what I mean? Well, when it comes down to games per se, I like different things. I feel like if I'm sinking my time in one game, I kind of feel like I'm cheating myself. Because like I said, I got so many games in my backlog and my library keeps growing and growing and growing. that I keep telling myself, like, yo, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna go back and play these games. But then, especially since we're content creators, we also have to stay what's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? Personally speaking.
No, like I completely understand. Because, like, so you probably understand how much regret I have, even though I had a lot of fun with it. How much regret I have for sinking almost 2,000 hours into Destiny across Destiny 1 and 2. Like, I've made great friends through Destiny, but at the same time, I don't even know how many games I missed out on playing that I bought, that I just have sitting there, which is like worse than me not buying them. You know?
Oh, same, dude. Like I recently dug up my 3DSs, right?
Yeah.
And
damn, you got that. Which is that one? The Y? That's the Legend of Zelda.
This is the debut of the Ocarina of Time and 3DS release. I've got the Zelda one, right?
Yeah.
And this is the Metroid one from Return of Samus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you just moved it across the screen, it kind of looked like the red Y one.
Yeah. I almost bought the Majora's Mask one, but I was like, nah. Like I just like they were charging way too much for it, and I was like,
yeah.
Even at retail, I was like, it's so much money. But anyways, I just dug these up, right, and I finally started playing these 3DS games that I've been wanting to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I just now started playing fucking Moon, Pokemon Moon.
Oh, for real?
Finished X and Y. I think I got Ultra Moon actually because my brother got it from me. Like I got I finished X, loved it. You know what I mean? And my brother got me Moon, and I just now because like again, I'm trying to do this thing where I'm finally get to play these games, and that I just been like I've heard so many great things about, and I just wanted to play them. See, and not feel bad about myself, like because I keep putting it off, and it's a process because again, barely any games are 10 hours long anymore. You know what I'm saying? Some of these games are 20, 30, 40 hours long, and there's nothing worse than sinking that much time into a damn anything and be disappointed at the very end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're making me think about anime now. Like I want to watch Bleach. And like I've heard that it's rough at the end. Like real rough.
Bleach suffers from fillers and just like a drop in quality at the end.
Yeah. No, and it's like you get into filler at like episode 30 or 40 because I've looked at the filler list, and it's like 50% filler.
I think it has like all the animes right now, or out of the most animes right now, it has like the most fillers. And I was like, and I thought Naruto was bad. Because I remember after the Naruto and Sasuke fight in 133 before they got the script put in, it was like 76 episodes straight fillers of nothing.
Dude,
just
nothing
waiting
mattered.
For shit put in. Just like it was bad. And I remember I told people all the time.
I pulled up the Bleach filler list. All right. The first filler episode is at 33. Not too bad. You get about a little more than a season's worth currently, right? But this was probably like week to week. So it was probably like mixed canon filler stuff, the way it happens with One Piece. And I mean, that was a problem with the big three anyway, as an anime, because they were week to weeks.
Yeah. And the difference between, I think, compared to the, well, I can't really speak on One Piece, but compared to Naruto and Bleach, at least Naruto had, like you said, like the canon-esque filler, right? For example, like the Zabuza
like arc, it was character. It enriched what you already knew about the characters for the most part.
Yeah, no, it actually added further development. Like I was gonna say, like the Zabuza arc, right? When they were training up the tree, now it kind of solidified their friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like and their rivalry. You know, which I didn't even know was filler until I looked it up. But when you have shit like a complete 180, like a complete detour. So much so that you have to figure out if it's even canon. You know what I mean? Like
you're sitting there, you're like, what's the point of this?
Why am I watching this? You know?
Yeah.
And when it's week to week, at that point you'd be like, well, shit. I looked like I was looking forward for this for a whole 7 days. Might as well just watch it, you know? And that's why I'm not even watching more like Boruto, man. Like people keep telling me like, oh, Kawaki showed up. This is when it gets good. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with y'all. Boruto did something that no series, anime or whatever should do. Hell, I don't even think video games should even do this shit either. Don't start something in medias res, right? Like I shit you not. Like in a movie it makes sense because in a movie it's 2 hours long. If you start something in medias res, like it's something that's supposed to cultivate fucking suspense. Like shit, I wonder what the fuck happened there. Then you go back and you're like, to day one or whatever the situation is, and like in games that takes 30 hours. Half the time you will forget that moment even existed in the first cutscene. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh, this is what we've been leading up to. And then in anime, like when Boruto, they started dope, like with Boruto fighting Kawaki, right? I'm like, oh shit, yo, this dude must be real. If he can put
and
hands
also
on
you visually, you're like, yo, what are these marks on their faces? Like what?
What's going on? Like, and then
none of that comes in until well after 150 episodes, right? Something
3
like
years, bro. 3 years. And we still not even the manga is still at that point. So it's been the anime's been going on 3 years, about to go on 4, I think in October, right? And we still haven't gotten to that part. The part that, like, and then I have to watch this Boruto go through puberty now. Like, I went through this shit with Naruto. Like, Naruto ran for like, what,
and
10
I still
years?
skipped it.
Yeah.
And you still skipped, like, right after the Naruto Sasuke fight.
Like, dead ass. And I sit here and I'm like, bro, like, I grew up with Naruto. I saw Naruto struggle. You know what I'm saying? Being a lonely ass kid, this and that. And you feel for the kid. He came a long way. That dude became Ninja Jesus, essentially, right?
Yeah. And then you get discount Naruto to the point where it's just a different spelling of his name. Like
not even that, a whole letter. Hey,
yeah.
Just put a B there. He's born with it.
Yeah.
I know. Well,
it's like imagine like before Boruto became a thing, you went to a flea market and you saw something that said Boruto instead of Naruto. You'd been like,
I know,
bro.
I look at this bootleg Naruto on my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all they did was change a whole syllable. You know what I'm saying? Like so garbage. But again, that's why I hesitate to get into shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why. There's one Netflix original anime, right? And I watched it because it was made by the same people that made the Castlevania anime, which was spectacular. And this one was called The Blood of Zeus. Some people liked it. I actually hated that shit. Like, well, hate is a strong word. I did not like it.
I just saw the trailers and I wasn't a fan of the art style.
The art style was a huge drop in quality compared to Castlevania. The story is painfully predictable for, again, it's a Greek theme, but come on, bro. Can we step away from the Greek tragedy? Like, okay, Zeus is a fuckboy. He's going to have a couple kids out there.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids are either going to want revenge or the affection of their daddy. Hera is going to be a jealous wife because her husband's out there being a thought.
Banging everyone.
It's so predictable that the only saving grace of the anime was literally the last episode, because that last epic fight scene between the Titans and gods was actually pretty dope. However, they didn't even sequel bait correctly. Like I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see the next one, or I was like, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like it was not. I don't think it was good. Some people, don't get me wrong, some people really enjoyed it, and if you did, by all means, that's you. Can only state my opinion, even if your opinion is wrong, but that's no here or there. My point is, I'm joking, but when it comes down to it, though, with anime, man, is actually it sucks because so many of them. It's a lot of time. It's because in Japan, so I read animators and a lot of these people are very severely underpaid, right? A lot of these creators.
They face the same kind of crunch that the video game industry does, and it's ridiculous.
It's sad. And like Promised Neverland was another one that hurt my soul.
I had read most of the manga for that shit.
That one, season 2 was a huge disappointment because I thought at least the anime, like season 1 was spectacular. It was fucking amazing.
Amazon season picked 2. Up a live action adaptation.
Did they?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you know what though? Amazon Prime, as of now, has a good track record with me when it comes down to adaptations of any kind, like Invincible.
Yeah. Dope. Oh, dude, that shit was so good.
So good. And even the creative liberties it took made so much sense in the context of, what we're working in film. The Boys, bro.
Dude, it's so good. I'm so excited for season 3.
Bro, The Boys had no business being this good.
No, it didn't.
Like when I was watching, I was telling
and it's
Blurred,
not even A-list actors. That's what's crazy.
The crazy part is that I could see at least was it Keith Urban? That's not his name.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Is it Butcher?
Yeah.
That dude is probably gonna, he has to get a couple gigs out of this because his performance as Butcher is phenomenal. Like the dude he's just so good. And Anthony Starr, Homelander, that's another dude that is just
that's the best evil Superman.
Bro, came out of nowhere. Like I never heard of this dude, right?
Yeah.
And the way this dude is, like, and it's crazy, like, because I've seen all the, like, how they do like the post episode interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying like it's crazy watching this dude perform and how he really is in real life, like the most humblest dude, the nicest dude. Like people saying like, yo, he will text you after every scene, like, hey, you did a great job, this and that. But then when he plays Homelander, it's genuinely terrifying.
Yep.
Like so good, bro. Such a good show. So Amazon picking up The Promised Neverland actually doesn't instill fear. Now, if you told me Netflix would have picked it up, I would have been.
Oh, like, dude, no. Yeah, no. I would not be. No. Because it would have been another Death Note. Yeah. It was so bad. They wasted Willem Dafoe. They actually got Willem Dafoe and they wasted him.
Bro, the character assassination of Light Yagami, huh? It was.
Dude, yeah.
Bro. Oh, man. But you know what's crazy? I never saw the Attack on Titan live action. I heard that was pretty horrible too. They
were terrible, but apparently they pulled stuff from that for the actual series.
Really?
Yeah. I think it supposedly inspired certain characters.
Interesting. I'll say this though. I heard there's a new ending for the manga. I'm not gonna get into spoilers. Yeah. That ending fucking sucked.
It sucked. People thought the first one sucked. I like the first one for the most part.
I haven't seen the new ending. Or I haven't read the new ending.
The original ending. I like for the most part. I like it. I think it's a decent wrap for like how everything is.
I did. I did. It's one of those. Okay, when I first read it, I liked it.
I might have to go back and read it.
Don't do it. If you like it, don't do it. Because my brother texted me because we read it. He goes like, "This is the type of shit. The more you think about it, it fucks with you." And I'm like, "Wow, what's up?" He goes like, "Reread it." And I reread this thing, and I'm like, I want to choke somebody. Like, reread it. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. Hell, we could do a little short segment, like, because I want to talk about it. But it was so many missed opportunities, and there's a theory. A fan theory that the manga and the anime ending is going to be completely different. There's one hint.
I have heard about that.
There's one hint in the ending, and that's that confirmed it. Well, not confirmed it. That basically solidifies the theory, and the fact that the final chapter of season 4, there's no way that even if they renew it for another 30 episodes, there's no way they're gonna catch up to the 70 chapters that there's still remaining of the post Marley invasion. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that's the case. just because I feel there was a lot of things left untouched, left unsaid in that series, but then again, I don't want to be too optimistic because
Yeah.
again, anime tends to like fall short when it comes down to writing a decent ending.
Yeah. Or just adapting as it goes.
Oh
Because,
yeah,
like, you know which series makes me mad a lot of the time right now?
go tell me.
My
Tell
Hero.
me. Really?
The anime, like, is highly upsetting to me because, so, I don't know if you've seen,
I'm not caught up in the manga yet.
okay, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to
Okay.
drop, like, story stuff or anything, but, like, I'm also with the manga at the moment not happy. They're showing too much of certain characters that I don't think are integral to the story or shouldn't be, and like they're there a third of the time, and I'm just like, why?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and they're starting to get towards that point in the anime, so people will start to see. And I like right now, I like what's happening with Deku, but everything's starting to happen too fast, even in the manga.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that they're rushing it?
Supposedly, he says he's not rushing it. That this is kind of the ending he's always had. But I always imagined it would. I don't want it to be as long as One Piece, because even though One Piece is long as fuck, it is absolutely my favorite story of all time.
Makes sense. I mean, the search for One Piece. A lot of people say like, well, not finding the treasure. It's not about finding the treasure. It's about It's about the journey, which I'm completely okay with. However, and I'm a quote Childish Gambino on this. Dan Glover's like, I like things to end. I like when like for example, right, when Breaking Bad ended. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna spoil a show that has been out for like almost 7 years, 8 years,
almost
a decade. Yeah. When Walter White died, it didn't feel like it felt right. You know what I'm saying? Everything he did, everything, like nothing about that story. Yeah, they dropped El Camino, you know what I'm saying? But that was more fan servicey than anything else, just to give like a good conclusion to Jesse Pinkman. But I like that ending. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel like satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
So when it comes down to it, like when you have stories that I like stories for me personally to end. I want things to like perfect example, Code Geass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know they dropped the movie that honestly brought Lelouch back, and personally speaking, I think that they should have ended it the way they did, with his sacrifice being how it was. When that ended, I felt satisfied. Like, yeah, he accomplished his mission. He set out to do everything he said he was gonna do at the first episode when he was just a student. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna unify the world and end the British. I mean, Britannia. I mean, they really didn't try hard.
No, they didn't try hard at all.
Not even, right? I felt like that ending was good, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to like other stories that either don't know when to end it, or they kind of go too deep into their own shit, just to either for money or for whatever the case may be. I feel like they overstay their welcome. Controversial opinion. Naruto overstayed his welcome. At least Shippuden did.
Oh yeah, but
Kaguya. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, at least the war felt like a war, as long as far as like it took a while, but it took way too long.
Way too long. Not just the manga, like the animes with the fillers and the dreams was the word. Kaguya should have never existed. The only reason why Kishimoto
I haven't watched the last 30 episodes of Naruto because I gave up. No,
that's fair. I'm gonna tell you right now, Kishimoto had a problem that every time a certain villain or character of his gained a certain level of popularity in the shonen pose, he will redeem them some way, shape, or form to the point where they become tragic, to the point that they start feeling first. Like you got a bunch of Itachi stands, right? But Itachi was damn near bred to be like the end all be all. Like the way they were hyping this dude up, even like not even Orochimaru can put hands on this dude. He was a misunderstood dude, right? Same thing with Madara. Madara was like the goal. Like you heard about this dude the first episode of Shippuden, right? Like the entire series of Shippuden, you're hearing about this dude Madara, this Madara, that Madara is the and you thinking Madara came out, he became automatically fan favorite. Haha, he was actually being used by Kaguya. I'm like, really? You had a great villain just that you could have ended the series with him and obviously give like the Naruto and Sasuke final fight, you know what I mean? Because that was about to happen. But Kaguya came strictly out of nowhere and fucking like now there's aliens and shit. Like, I'm like, really? Aliens? That's what we're going with? Like, aside from the fact that Naruto suffered from one of the biggest retcon, in my opinion, because remember, Naruto was a kid that was fighting his destiny to become great. That's why when he fought Neji was so influential, because Neji says like you're bound by destiny to be a loser, as the same way I'm bound to be from the lower branch of the Hyuga family, whatever tree, right? And Naruto said I'm gonna fight destiny and I'm gonna prove you wrong and I'm gonna become Hokage. To in Shippuden being like, yeah, bro, you're kind of Ninja Jesus.
Your dad was the third Hokage. Your mom was like from the fourth. Yeah. It was crazy. It was just crazy shit.
You're the reincarnation of this
you're the
one
chosen
dude
one.
who was basically it's ridiculous. So again, when it comes down to it, I feel like storytellers should just I'm not saying like because I'm not a storyteller. You know what I mean, but if you know how you know how you want your story to end. Because when you start catering to fans and whatnot, you start running into the issues where you're either creating plot holes or you're just simply not doing your story justice, you know. And I feel like a lot of great games, series, anime have fallen to this trap to the point where even now you got so many reboots and remakes just to rectify these mistakes. But yeah,
look, the more we talk, the more I'm like, I'm sure he would love One Piece, because like right now where they're at in the story, it is reaching endgame stuff. There has been actual progression from like the beginning of the story to where it is now. Like, kind of like I was saying with Naruto, at the end, the war felt like a war. Right now, what's going on, it feels like this big war, but it's not overstaying its welcome.
So, in your opinion, because like I'm gonna be honest, if I start One Piece, I don't want to start from day one. Luffy is and just like where should I start? In your opinion, because like here's the thing, I can get character backgrounds and stuff like that easy, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I know most of these characters, to begin with, you know what I'm saying? I know names, I know their abilities, you know what I'm saying? Where should I start? Where it's like that where you were like,
you're gonna hate my answer. You're gonna hate my answer.
Fucking first episode.
From the beginning. Yeah, because there are things that happen at the very beginning that are important even today. And like there's a whole character that has an arc. His arc just in the anime concluded like 2 weeks ago. And his story takes place even before Luffy was born.
Gotcha.
And then you find out the influence he has goes so far back, like 800 episodes.
Damn, 800 episodes, bro. That's 400 hours.
Yes, I know. It took me, I want to say, let me see, I started it in November, finished it in July, and I took plenty of breaks in between. Because like I watched Haikyuu, all of Haikyuu during that, and I would watch other stuff in between just because I don't think you should rush it at all. Don't rush it. Take your time with it. Even the 10% filler that One Piece has, there's a certain arc that manga readers get told to go watch because it's that good. Because it does, kind of like you were saying, it builds on those friendships. It builds on like the character's development, and it just kind of solidifies like, oh yeah, this is who this character is.
Gotcha.
To the point where like, go ahead.
No, I said no. I'll definitely add it to the list. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely, and I will start it. Hopefully in the near future. I mean, I still need to catch up with Black Clover.
Dude, Black Clover is fire.
It is. Asta, honestly, out of the new gen,
Asta earns every inch of everything he's got.
Asta, honestly, and this is gonna be hard for some people to stomach. Out of the new gen heroes, he is the best MC. I put him up against Tanjiro, up against Deku, especially Deku. I put him up against all these new gen. What's the dude from Jujutsu? It's crazy. I saw Yuji, right?
Yeah.
Asta is that dude because this dude, like, I think it's the first time, maybe since even, like, I'll say Goku, right?
Mm-hmm.
That in my anime watching experience, that a character who had no power, talentless, right? From day one, worked out, was a formidable dude with no magic, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And was just he was all about his games, about because I'm not there, I'm nobody, but I will be, to the point where he is now damn near a fucking beast, a fucking demon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You sit here and you look at Naruto, who had to get his ass saved by Kurama, the Naito Fox, several times. You have Deku, who had to get saved by a bunch of his support team. He's the only one that has faced all his problems head on, literally with almost damn near no support, like no direct support. You know what I'm saying? He's a fucking monster.
So even more, I think you'd love Luffy.
This dude.
Even more. No, I'm serious. I'm 100% serious. Because as I watched Black Clover, more and more I was like, damn, this is what I love from like main characters, right? Like fighting with all they have to, like, no matter the odds. At the end, it's not even I'm gonna beat them because of friendship. It's like, no. I go in because of friendship. I get my ass beat, but I keep getting up because I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. Not just power of friendship gives me an extra punch. No, like they start thinking about like, okay, tactically, how do I have to do this? You know,
it's perfect, dude. I'm sold. I'm gonna watch it, bro. You got me.
Bet. I will say, Black Clover's animation hurts sometimes.
Yeah, when they get into the non essential fights, it drops in quality.
Yeah, when they fought that one dude in the, I forget what kingdom it was. Was it Spade Kingdom?
What Spade?
Yeah, like the animation of the trees hurt my eyes. I was like, no, bro, this is just green dashes.
Like they were like hand drawn by a toddler. But yeah,
it did.
But when Yami was fighting the
boy,
Yami,
just Yami, bro.
It's crazy how for all these shows, all these new gen characters, the senseis are way more memorable than the actual MCs. You got Yami, Gojo, All Might. All Might still might look. And it's crazy. Like they had to nerf All Might. Like they had to nerf All Might early in the series. Now there was like literally no consequence.
It would have been a Superman.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Like the first time I saw All Might, I like before I watched One Hero, and I saw him like post somewhere. I was like on Instagram. I'm like, corny ass looking ass dude. That was like my
especially
first thought.
with the hair.
And with the hair, the smile. I saw a couple of the first episodes, like, this was so corny. It's not until he fought Nomu, right? That I was like, yo, this dude is immediately fucking loved him. Then when he fought All For One, and he rearranged All For One's entire jaw with the United States of Smash, that entire sequence was just beautiful. Like, no, All Might he's my dude, man. I'm so mad that he's not All Might. You know what I mean? Like, he's just skinny Might. I'm like, damn, bro. But shit, man. But with that being said, bro, any other things you want to go over? I apologize, but I gotta wake up like in 5 hours.
No. You're good, bro. You're good. No, like, honestly, like, you're kind of saying we could easily keep talking about anime, about video games, and everything just flows, which is in some ways the worst part.
Oh, it's great. No, don't get me wrong though. Like, I have fun, and I know me, because if I don't police myself, I could easily be out here for a couple more hours, no problem. And then I'm gonna be like pissed off in the morning because I gotta wake up early and stuff like that. So I hate to be a wet blanket, but this was
man, it's totally understandable. And like, you're always welcome to come back on. That's for sure. Like,
appreciate it, man. I would love to be back on. Like I said, and guys, the chats. You know, if you guys have any questions or any topic you guys want us to talk about in regards to this,
anything you guys want us to answer. Like I said earlier, just be respectful. Don't be a dickhead, because like, you can ask. Even if you think the question might be stupid, it's probably not. Between the two of us, I'm sure we have plenty of like anime experience, video game experience, even like real life experience.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up, man, because a lot of times, so I wanna say something before I leave, right? And it's something that I find myself like, I've seen this a lot on YouTube, TikTok, and all, like, where a lot of people want to get into certain genres of entertainment, like let's anime and video games, for example, right? But they get intimidated because the fandom, the community becomes so toxic, right? There's some people over here like that try to gatekeep anime. They try to gatekeep certain video games, and it irritates me because like like the more support we get and whatever it is that you enjoy, the more support we're gonna get from the creators, you know, whether it's financial, creative, all these things, right? So feel like, if you feel like it's stupid, if you feel like it's something, like if you just want to get into something, right? And if I can speak on it, ask us. Yeah, I mean, I know my boy, no strings attached. I know it's not swear, but no strings attached. No, we watch sports anime. Not as much as before. I used to.
I've only watched Captain Tsubasa and Haikyuu, but Captain Tsubasa was so long ago. But Haikyuu is, no cap, one of my favorite anime of all time now too.
Really?
Because especially this last season, I didn't realize I was gonna cry as hard as I did towards the end of the season, and it was like, not even crying because it was a sad moment. It was because I was so proud of the main character and how far he's come.
Interesting. I felt the same way about the OG Baki series, not the new one that they released in Netflix, the 80s one. I felt the same way with Baki as he progressed and became, you know, the world champion, a fighter. I don't know if that would be considered like a sports anime, because it was because there was no superpowers, but it was like a lot. It was a grappler anime, you know what I'm saying, where it was just characters.
I mean, it's still a sport. It's still a sport.
Then, but most of the sports anime I watched, it's funny you mentioned that. I watched them when I was in DR, and like I remember their names like in Spanish, like Supercampeones. That was like a soccer based anime. that shit was fucking dope. I enjoyed it. And yeah, unfortunately they're not as popular anymore. But it's because people are more into the fantastical. They're more into the,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like and even now, like, what was that?
Well, I was gonna say, which honestly is what kept me from like ever checking out Haikyuu, but then when I got to a certain part in One Piece that just hit me way too hard, I was like, I gotta take a break. I need something lighter. It's like, you know what? I always hear great things about Haikyuu. I didn't think I've played volleyball, but never like seriously. Mm-hmm. So I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna watch volleyball, let alone watch an anime based around it. But now, after watching 4 seasons of it, whenever I play with my sister, like in the backyard for graduation, we had to set up her volleyball net. My brother and I were out here like imagining the anime as we're fucking playing. I can keep up now, sort of, when like on Facebook you scroll, sometimes like the most random shit pops up. So one time a volleyball game was playing. And I was like, yo, that was sick. Like, I knew what had happened.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because it's also a way for you to, both, for me, anime and video games have also broadened my horizon when it comes down to exploring different things. You know what I'm saying? For example, and I really got to go after this one, but Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood made me actually take an interest in studying both Islamic religion, Judaism, conflicts in the Middle East from all aspects because of the heavy allegories that show into that it had to the real world. Which I still think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of the best animes of all time, in my opinion. But that one actually made me really read up on real world issues that we have out here because of how influential the anime was to me. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that something as the outside looking in, something as childish because it's it's animated or whatever the case may be, can have some real life implications. You know what I mean? Real life allegories, and I think something that's heavily underappreciated. But with all that being said, yo, my dude, thank you so much for having me, man. I had
of course, man.
This was great.
It was great having you, and dude, like I said, we could talk forever. But tell everyone where they can find you and find your content.
Gotcha. All right, so real quick, so Cipher World. So my Twitter is the Cipher actually has the 1 and 3 to replace the vowels. I had to switch it from my YouTube and Twitch because people didn't know what a vowel was. So I was like, you know what, just Cipher. You know what I mean? Just regular Cipher World. I post gaming content on YouTube and I stream on Twitch, which I'm gonna pick up hopefully after this week. I should be able to have a schedule on my Twitch content, and you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Hit me up if you have any more questions or you just want to shoot the shit. Oh, we got another 901 over here. Yo, what's up, my dude? Hey. But yeah, man, thank you so much, yo. Hope to see you guys again.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to have you on again.
Appreciate it. Lo Tigre.
Have a good night, man.
You too, my brother.
All right.